Hello and welcome back to episode 34 of Minecraft Ultra Hardcore. I did a little bit of work in between episodes. Finally, for the first time in such a long time, I actually did stuff on my own time. I had a little bit extra. But before we get into that, I have a little bit of a celebration that I need to make. So if, of course, I open my statistics tab and go way down, you'll see time played 14 days. That is right, we have done it. We have passed the 2-week playtime, and I'm just going to find it real quick. Where is it? Times died? What? I always forget what the achievement is. Oh, it's number of death. That's right. Still at 0. Still at 0. Of course. Still at 0. I don't think there's anything else in there, and that statistics that's interesting. You know what? Let's just go through. Let's just scroll through. Anything fun in here that I might want to look at? Oh, let's look at this one. Damage absorbed 916. How many times over would I have died if I couldn't heal myself? Okay, I so far would have died about 46 times over. So, you know, I don't think I'm quite ready yet for permanent health loss. I still need the healing. I'm not that good yet. Oh, there's another statistic that I want to pull up, and that was the times mined. I don't know if I brought this up in a previous episode, but oh my gosh. I'm almost at 50,000 spruce leaves. I almost have more spruce leaves than I have everything else. And if, of course, you look at what we've done here, we have a whole lot of spruce. Yeah, and I need so much more. All of this area out here, no spruce. I still need to put some there. That number's going to be probably my highest by the time I'm done with it. Next order of business, of course, right before I came and started this video, I went through and I checked all of my mods, and they are all finally on 1.20.1. So as you can see right here, we've been running on 1.19.3 for so long. We might be updating to 1.20 soon, and I might switch around a couple mods. I don't know. I'll let y'all know when it happens. It's probably going to be for next episode, though. We're probably going to update next episode. I need to do this path. I keep forgetting about it. Okay, added that to my to-do list. It's getting longer. In fact, speaking of to-do lists, did anyone remember this guy over here? I frequently forget about this. You know, this was like pretty much the worst way to do it. I mean, it's nice to have it in game, you know, but it doesn't work whenever I want to move around the importance of certain things. Let me just look through this. I don't think there's actually anything in here that I've actually done. I think I had a slime farm on here, didn't I? Yeah, slime farm. Yeah, that is like probably the one thing on here that I've actually completed that, you know, was on this list and I can remove. Honey farm, I'm not counting this guy. I'm not counting this as a legitimate honey farm. That's just like passive honey generation. On to what went on in between episodes. It wasn't like a ton. Of course, the first thing I did, I mean, this wasn't the first thing, this was some of the last things. These guys are pacified now. I don't know what I want to do with them, but I've been collecting them, and you know, they're here just to have if I need to. Same with these guys over here. These guys were also pacified. I did this just before I started the recording. You know, I also have those guys over there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I have them. And I didn't pacify those guys. You can see, yep, they still got bows, because those take so freaking long. They take so long. And for the final two things that happened in between episodes, to my memory, is I worked on the trees right here. So I'm gonna get over here to a little safe spot to show it off. I did the best. I did the new method that I found whenever I was fixing that area over there. I did that here, and let me say, it was so much faster. It is so much faster, and I'm so upset that I didn't do that for all of the rest of this. It would have been so nice, but it is what it is, and the reason none of them have tops is because I ran out of spruce completely. So I have to go farm more spruce trees. Again, I don't want to, but I have to. And finally, we have this bad boy right here. Of course, a ton. We've done a ton. We did a lot. A lot. I just went through and I filled in all of the walls, or at least, you know, as much as I could. I didn't actually decorate them like I did all of the other ones. Of course, if I did, it would have taken a whole lot longer. I would not have gotten all the way to over there, because I'm going to try and do the same thing that I did for the trees over here, because that seemed to work and it was a whole lot quicker. So I'm assuming that it'll be a whole lot quicker to do it over here. You know, I don't have to switch between all these other blocks and, you know, change the way my brain is thinking all of the time. If I just do it step by step by step for the whole thing, hopefully it'll work a lot better. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Holy, bro's on the mission. What are you doing all the way over here so fast? Have fun never despawning. Bye-bye. Speaking of never despawning, I keep forgetting we have this guy up here who just can't leave. I'm pretty sure he's completely free to go up those stairs, but just chooses not to. Yeah, I don't think there's anything stopping you. Come on, get out. You're free. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm sorry. I regret to inform you that there's something that we need to talk about. Let me come down here to where my little AFK platform is, and I'm just going to show y'all an issue. I know I discussed it previously, but you know, you need to see how bad it is. Look at these rates. I know I just got here, but there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. All of this is spawnable, and that's not good. So this is one of the prime reasons why you don't normally do these underground ones anymore, is because every time you do it, you have to deal with this business. If we come down here, everything within this sphere is spawnable. All of it. I have to spawn proof all of this now that I've gone and decided to build this stupid thing right here. This continues to be the worst decision to build a slime farm. All of this. I have to light up all of this. That's going to be a really big ordeal. Again, I so wish I had come through and actually counted how long this farm has made me to build. And what's the problem? Wait, yeah, why are actually 0 spawning right now? Am I AFKing in the wrong spot? Wait, hold on. Maybe I did some kind of math wrong. Why, hold on. That's interesting. I wonder why when I come up here, none of them spawn in here. As you can see, I'm back up here. Okay, there is that tiny little guy, but we saw like 4, maybe, whenever I was down at the bottom. Up here, there's none. And what this sphere right here is that is how far away mobs won't spawn. And I was assuming, because for some reason, if I was up here, maybe they wouldn't. Actually, no, I'm closer down here. What's up with this? Hold on, I'm going back down. We're checking again. Okay, I'm gonna move my no spawn sphere down here. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Set here. Mobs won't spawn anywhere over here. But for some reason, let's sit here a little bit. Let's see if anything spawns. Yeah, you know what? I think all of this just means nothing. Moral of the story. We need to do a whole lot of lighting up. And that's for later. I'm not doing it right now. It won't be happening now. Hoo hoo hoo! Oh yes, I love those spectral arrows. Alright, moving on to what I have planned for today. We need paths on the nether roof. Now, I mean, we need a bunch of stuff on the nether roof. We need a hole. I can't keep doing this. We need some paths to the gold farm. We need a path over to the magma cream farm. Peekaboo, Mike died and I lost all of my audio, so let's do this one more time. Moral of the story, there's a bunch of stuff up here that I want to do. However, as I was talking through that, I realized I can't actually do that, and I will tell you why. So, in the future, I want my whole path thingy down here to be all nice and organized and pretty, and one thing that I want to do to have that is I want to have my whole rail system that goes through all of the lines, and I want to have, like, the one big central room where when you first enter the nether, from my main area up there, you'll enter into that spot. And you know, I'll extend that to any other bases that I plan on building, because once I finish that whole tree area, I plan to move. And so when I move, I'm going to be building another one, but yeah, that doesn't matter. I want to have my nice, big, pretty opening right here that I will go down to. And in order to have that all nice and organized and have it fit everything, my path up to the bedrock and up, you know, through the bedrock eventually when I do that, will have to be placed nicely in my little area down here. Unfortunately, where I have my entry and exit right now is not placed nicely. I mean, you could say right here is nicely, but really it's not, in my opinion. Whenever I end up breaking, I want it to be aligned first at the bottom and then at the top, and not the other way around. That limits where I can actually build down here. And so, before I can do any building down here, really, I have to get whatever I want down there solid. And before I get anything down here solid, if you remember correctly, I have to first have my railways in, or at least have my entries and exits figured out before I actually go and do anything. Because it severely limits what my design is going to be like, because I have to have, you know, dedicated areas meant specifically for this one purpose that cannot be moved. They can't be moved. And so one of the greatest limiting factors to this is what originally in my mind was going to be a wall where I go up and click, hey, I want to go here, hey, I want to go there, and it's going to stretch, like, you know, very, very longly, very bigly, and that will very strongly dictate what I'm going to have it look like. And so we moved over to the testing world. And so my plan then was going to be, okay, I can't do the nether roof like I wanted to. I can't do the main downstairs like I then wanted to. Okay, the rest of this episode is going to be me figuring out how the entries and exits and the ticketing system and all that is going to work, basically finishing this. And so I came over here and I designed this little bit right here, and essentially this is just going to be how tickets are going to be figured out. I'm not going to be doing a big wall. Basically all I need is a hole. anywhere. I can just have a hole, and it's gonna be, if I want to go through the piston line, you know, it'll trigger the piston line. If I want to go through the soul lantern line, it'll trigger the soul lantern line. But as you noticed, there is quite a bit of delay between the first one and the second one, and that's to do with the hoppers right there. So if I throw in the stick line is way down over here. I mean, I can spam these two lines before the stick guy even gets close. And so I'm going to have to come up with another thing to do right here. It is most likely going to be blue ice, and then, you know, it falls piston slime block and honey block, sends it on its way, and that should go significantly faster. But it all boils down to, as long as I have a hole right here that I can throw whatever I want in, everything's going to be fine. So I really just need like a 1 block slot to figure out all of the ticketing business. Which then finally lands us here. I have to figure out how the entryway is going to deal with and how the exit is going to happen. I have to put all of this together before I can then begin decorating the downstairs. So I'm going to do a little bit of braining. I'm going to put my brain together and figure out how I'm going to put everything together, and then I will meet back with you once again. Okay, so beginnings and endings are all fully supported now. So if I launch here, I will go to the very end, and unfortunately we have this little bitty here that I have to deal with. Oh, honestly, I could not come up with a better workaround, but it ends the way it begun. And unfortunately, as you'll notice over here, we have, you know, that line right here. But if we come over to this side, it's different. And this one right here is like the one rails, unfortunately, are directional, which is very annoying. And that will mean that I won't be able to just have one schematica of this kind of intersection and just copy and paste it all over the place. I'll actually have to repeatedly check and make sure that each line works. And, you know, it is what it is. It'll cause headaches in the future, but this is the best I know how to do. I can't do any better. I'm not that smart. But moving on from here, if I just click go, the path will normally take us this direction. And then in order to go back, I just click this one more time. That will load into the chest. And that was the wrong button. Shoot. Okay, load into the chest. That guy's there. Send. And we are on our way and home and right back at the beginning where we started. Ideally, I would like the minecarts to be broken by cactus and then just like recycled back in so that they're not always sitting out. I can just click the go button or the load button and then it will prepare me to leave. But if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to do my silly little injures thing that I have going on, where it sends me into this one and then bounces me. Well, okay, that was a bad example. Sends me into that one and then bounces back over here. I mean, you saw it earlier. And the reason that I need to do this is so that I can separate out the minecarts. I'm not quite sure of like a better way to filter them, at least as quickly as I would want it to go. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, and hopefully having the minecarts always out isn't going to be too big of a problem. That being said, I believe all I really need to actually start working on the design is just this section right here, so I'm pretty sure I'm good enough to leave this world and come back the next time I absolutely have to, because to be frankly honest, I don't want to work on this, I just want to have it. But I have to work on it to have it, so you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to go and I'm going to dig out the area that I want to work with, and I will be back when I'm done. Oh no! Oh, where'd it go? Oh man, it's gone. Oh. I currently have no plans on how I'm going to decorate this, so what I'm going to start by doing is going in and filling in the floor, and I'm just going to use, I want to use crying obsidian. I haven't used any of it yet, and I really like it as a block, and this breaks the same speed as obsidian does. Oops. Yeah, hopefully I don't like misplace a bunch of stuff and have to come back and redo it. I should do this in creative, but I'm doing it in survival, so it is what it is. I'm gonna build like a fourth of it and then just like mirror it, you know, across. So I'll be back whenever I figure that out. Okay, first quadrant done, and hopefully, depending on how everything goes, I think it'd be really cool. I just kind of did this by accident. Oh yeah, before I get there, I just kind of like placed blocks down, and I'm just gonna hope it looks interesting, at least with all four corners, but. Hopefully, I accidentally made this sword shape here, and I'm hoping that whenever I put in my rails, like right along here, I could make it some kind of, maybe depending on how I end up spawn-proofing everything, look like a blade with the rails along here, and I'm going to have to put something along the edges here that are going to be like really dark to make it look like it's not there, and then, you know, like these areas over here just like the same, and then, you know, light with the, you'll see it, we'll get there eventually. But yeah, now I get to go and copy this over, and we'll see how it looks in the end. There we go. This isn't really that bad. Like, you know, it's got the, honestly, I was kind of just designing for this kind of shape right there, and then it spiraled out a little bit, but I think it's fine. I think it's good. And I absolutely love the fact that crying obsidian gives out light, so all of this is lit very nicely, and I don't have to worry about anything overhead if I so choose to, but I think I will, because my plans for the walls is just shorter, or no, not shorter, taller versions of this, and I'm not quite sure how tall I want it to be, but at the top there will be shroom lights. So yeah, I think now I have the floor done. The floor is looking good. It's looking real nice. If I come right up here and center myself right nicely in the center, look at that. The portal just disappears and we get pretty purple particles right there. But hey, you get back off. Now I need to... Where... Was I hallucinating? Where did he... That's not... Alright, so now I gotta work on the walls. We gotta put some of these guys in here. I will do maybe a couple, maybe I'll math out the sections. I don't know. I'm gonna do some work on it and I'll be back so I can talk about it. Okay. We've got 2 walls. We have 2 of them. And I might maybe have made this a little bit too tall. I just kind of, so I think it was like 5 blocks up right there, and then I went up another 5, and then like another 5, and then another 5, or something like that. I know from one point to one point, I counted 15 blocks. Look, how tall are these actually? Oh, it's 15 from bottom to top. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so 15 all the way up. It's not going to be a cube. It's still going to be rectangular for the most part, but it does feel very tall. So I might, at some point, maybe have some kind of like beams that just kind of go across just to be there. It won't have a second floor or something, but so yeah, this is what we have right now. And unfortunately, I have ran like completely out of blackstone. I'm out up here. I'm out of blackstone down there. I'm out of gold for trading. So I had to stop at this point, and we can't quite finish this today, but we do have something here. And we're going to have a bit of a problem because as I spoke with these tunnels right here, they are just so perfectly positioned that ghasts cannot spawn in them. This is not that case. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to stop ghasts from spawning in here. I'm gonna have to like look deep into ghast spawn lore. And what might end up happening is I'm just going to have to like place a grid of string all over the place, and that's just gonna be how it is. But, you know, we're dealing with that later. For now, we're done here, and I'm going to come back to this whenever I have more gold. Another thing that's very unfortunate, as you can see, you know, I made the sword here. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have the sword here. It'll be really nice and really cool. Okay, well, since I mirrored this 4 times, the next sword is going to be right here. Since everything's going to be mirrored around the portal, the next sword's going to be right here. Oh, now that I think about it, should I leave the portal like this? I think so. I think it's just going to stay like that. The next sword is going to be right here. Oh, okay, then logically, the next sword would be right here. Now, wait a second. Oh. Yeah, it'd be really silly to have a whole nother completely finished, very, very long tunnel right next to another completely finished, very, very long tunnel. So I might have to just completely rebuild this one, but right here. And, you know, this is why I'm building down here before I decided to go and build up here, is to avoid that. So, you know, hopefully that will never happen again. And I'm not going to tear this out. I'm just going to wall it off later. Whenever it becomes an issue, I'm just going to build a wall right here, and we're going to act like that never happened. But yeah, that's just about the update. Before I can really finish anything, I have to spend a lot of time AFKing up here at the gold farm, which I did not build a path to this episode, but that's alright. And, wrong button, I really did, you know, have been avoiding AFKing at the gold farm, because I've been trying to keep my day counter really as low as I can. How did that just go up to 61 FPS? I've been keeping it limited at 60. I've been trying to keep the day counter as low, and I can turn the frames off, as low as I can, because for my first 2,000 day, or 1,000 day video, it kind of felt like I didn't do very much, to be completely honest. And so I've been trying to AFK as low as possible, just to keep my day counter low, you know, so that more can happen for the next one. But, you know, it has to happen. You know, I'm gonna have to AFK some places sometimes, and today is just one of those days. So I'm gonna AFK overnight, come back with lots of gold, and before, you know, you see where I am, I was just about to end off right now. I'm going to cut to the video clips I did where I did the trees, and I did the cactus farm, and I also went through and I gathered some sandstone for the cactus farm, so I'll throw that in there too. So yeah, let's cut around. Let's watch those. Okay, we're back. We're almost done here. Just one final thing before I end the episode off. I would like to thank this week's new subscribers. Starting off, number 1, we have Buzzy Combs, then we have Vero, and then we have Gawa, I hope, and then we have Hannah M, we have Simon Suro, hopefully, and Jason. Thank you guys very, so very much. You guys are the best, and thanks everyone else in this tunnel so much. Y'all are all amazing. And if you would like to join any of these other wonderful people in this tunnel, please subscribe and tell me in the comments somewhere that you subscribe so that I know to put you in here. That would be amazing, and I would love to have you in my world forever with all of the rest of these people who you can't see if you stand so perfectly in this chunk for some silly reason. And with that, I will be ending today's episode off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.